Good morning from beautiful Flom, Norway. We're in the Flom Valley, and this place is gorgeous. But today, we're taking a cruise throughout the fjord, and we're headed to this one village. I don't know how to say it. I'll put it right here. And we're going to a real-life Viking village where people live as Vikings did 1,000 years ago. There, we can do archery, we can do axe throwing, and then just talk to the villagers. And I'm Davion.
Camilla.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How do I say it?
Anders.
Ondos.
Yes, Anders.
And see what it was like, and see what it's like living as a Viking today. But first, we have to head to the bakery. I didn't realize I was being watched. Did you like the video? Yes. Yes. Aww. Wow, they even have beautiful animals here. You gotta love Norway, people. Like, one last thing, like just waking up like this. And yes, it's raining. So we got about an hour until this cruise is actually gonna start. So stopped at the bakery, and I actually got this bruschetta with white chocolate. I've never heard of bruschetta and white chocolate together, but it looks super flaky and soft. Oh my God, this is a match made in heaven. 10 out of 10. And then also some white chocolate. But they have other things in there like croissants. They have this custard and cinnamon roll in there, coffee cappuccinos, anything you want. Plus you have this perfect, beautiful view before all the tourists come. There's gonna be a huge cruise ship that's gonna come. So get up early and enjoy Flom, all to yourself and a couple of other people around you. After having some great bread and coffee, we're getting ready to get on that ferry right there. And what's so unique about it is that it's powered entirely off of electricity. So whenever it docks here and at the other place, it actually charges the batteries, and apparently it takes 20%, not 20%, apparently it takes 20 minutes just to charge the batteries.
Downstairs. Thank you, sir.
So apparently the best view inside is right here, but he did say actually being outside is the best, because obviously this is a fjord tour. It's 9:30 and they're leaving right on time. Make sure you come out here whenever the cruise ship is leaving the dock here at Flom, because it's definitely a breath to see. It's very beautiful. I met some random people on this cruise, and that's one of the things about when you're traveling, you need to make sure you talk to other people so you can exist in today's world. So why are you guys taking this cruise?
We're coming from Australia, so we heard so much about Norway, and so we started doing the trip from Oslo. So that's the first part. We took the train from there to Berg to call the Norway in a nutshell, and now we're on the Flom, going to, I can't pronounce his name.
I can't pronounce it either.
But it starts with a V. So it's a very nice cruise. It's flying now. The boat is flying.
And we have enjoyed ourselves so much.
And the food and the
It's
fish
beautiful.
and the fish food is amazing. Which is.
And then what was your name, sir?
My name is Rienzi. Rienzi and Roshni.
Roshi.
Davion.
Davion.
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
All water.
Nice to meet
Nice
y'all.
meeting you.
And when my man said that this cruise is flying, they are flying. They do not care about us at all. They're just trying to get to where they're going. And I'm just kidding. They definitely care safety and all of that. But when I tell y'all this is probably like the top 5 things I've done in the world, it definitely is. Everywhere I look, everywhere I point the camera, like it's just pure beauty. Like you can't mess this up if you're trying to get a photo or videotape. Everyone on this cruise has their phones out and they're just enjoying this. Actually, yeah, I'll take one of those. Yeah, thank you. So they also do serve alcohol on this cruise. Now this is an apple cider. Apparently it's made from a village somewhere close to Flom, so a local product. Let's give this a try. You'll know how I love apple cider. 7.8 out of 10. So it gets rounded to an 8, but not a solid 8. And honestly, it's not too sweet. 4.7% alcohol content. And then we have this right here. So it looks like bread twist with some pistachio inside. this is their restroom. Not bad. Pretty huge mirror. Now this is the second stop on this cruise, and a lot of people apparently stop here because this is a cheese village. You can get great cheese here, I think, something like that. I don't know. There's that cruise ship which is headed straight towards Flom, and that's why I told y'all you need to make sure you get up early in the morning to experience Flom before all the tourists get there. There's gonna be hundreds and hundreds that are gonna fill up Flom. Okay, now according to the screen inside, this is where 3 fjords actually meet right here. And the fjords of Norway were apparently formed during the first ice age up to 6,500 years ago. That's just crazy to think. This cruise really shows you a lot about the fjords, and it's not just a place you're just gonna sit on a boat. You can truly enjoy all of this with all these random people. I don't know who they are. What were you saying, sir?
Oh, I was just saying about the difference between being in the fjords in Alaska and being in the fjords here is that this electric boat lets us hear the waterfalls and hear the fjord. And it's just absolutely beautiful.
And what was your name, sir?
Mike.
Mike? Davion.
Davion, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Okay, honestly, he's right. You guys hear that? That's the sound of the waterfall, because this is not a diesel engine. Very beautiful indeed. Okay, you're right, sir. I can definitely hear the waterfall now, like actually focusing on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I thought they were all talk when they said like it's one with nature, but like it truly is.
Yeah, you've been on a cruise ship before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's... So you got on in Flom, right?
Yes.
Did you read about how much damage the cruise ships are doing to Little Town?
I haven't.
Oh yeah, they're saying that the fish in the fjord have died.
Really?
Yeah, take a look. On Wikipedia, I was reading about it because we're like, there's only, 2 hotels in the entire city.
That's true.
And then you have a cruise ship of several thousand come in.
When I got off yesterday from the train and I saw the cruise ship, I was like, how did that big thing even get, I don't know, it just felt out of place too.
Yeah, and they dump their warm water into the fjords. You can't help but change things, right?
YouTube, fam.
Sorry.
So this is the third stop. It looks like Davion.
This is Davion, yeah.
Davion. Okay, I was totally wrong. But this is a small village. We're just doing a little small short stop here. Apparently people come here in the summer to hike and to actually do hunting because there's apparently a lot of deer around this area. But when I tell you, this place is really quiet. It's really quiet. To be honest, that boat ride was definitely worth the price. I think it was $83 for a round trip. So I met so many great people on that boat, and now we're headed to the Viking village. Super excited. Honestly, I have not been this excited in so long. This place is it's just breathtaking. So we've made it inside the Viking village, and the next tour starts at 12 o'clock, so we got 20 minutes to just walk around this village. But the reason why this place is so interesting is because it's not just an open air museum. It is really happening. This is real life. People have chosen to live in this village and to dress like they did back then.
But as you can see, this is how a Viking helmet looks like, and it doesn't have any horns. So why then do we represent Vikings with horns today? History was mostly written by the victims of the Vikings, which were monks who were attacked in their monasteries. Of course, they saw Vikings as a punishment from God, as devils and demons coming from hell. Use it for protection. You can also use it to intimidate your enemy. Yeah, it worked here. Good, good. So to be pagan at the time basically means that you are not Christian. You worship nature and you believe in many different gods. They are personification of the elements. So here I have a few of them who are represented, the most famous ones, so maybe you know them already. So here is Thor, the god of thunder, protector of human and gods, and the strongest of the gods. When you hear thunder and you see lightning in the sky, is Thor. And here we have Odin. Odin is the All-Father, so he's the father of Thor, and he's also called the one-eyed god. He has only one eye because he gave his eye as a sacrifice to Mimir, the well of wisdom.
Honestly, looking at these bow and arrows, pretty close to being realistic than the stuff you'll get at, like, you know, Academy and those kind of stores. Oh yeah, it's way better. Should have saw me earlier. Let me not get a big head though. All right, so we're gonna see if I would have died in battle as an honorable warrior and went to Valhalla. But very few people went to Valhalla. At least that's what believe. Oh man. So you said you're an OG of this village.
Yeah, so I'm an OG of the village being open, but not of the project. The project was originally founded in 1995, and it spent 20 years campaigning to get planning permission. So we didn't get the permission until 2015, and then we opened in 2017. But of those of us who work in the village, there's only a very small handful of us who have been here in the village since it opened. And I'm one of them.
And what was your name, sir?
My name's Greg.
Greg.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let me see. I'm Davion.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Excellent.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm making warm fur, which is a bit waterproof for the rain also, for my daughter. But it's gonna be in a goat skin instead of a fox.
How long is it going to take you to finish?
Oh, today.
Today?
Yeah. This is a fox.
Oh, man. And then you leave the face on there too?
Yeah, the face and the legs, everything. Use as much as possible.
And then how do you like living in this village?
Oh, it's wonderful. So many crafters all over, good crafters, so you can learn from each other. Yeah, it's really nice. The kids love it. They
I can
talk about
see.
this all year. When are we going to Gudvangen? When are we going to Gudvangen?
Honestly, it looks like it's very good for them
Yeah.
to really get the chance to be outside, to be with nature, which, you know, a lot of kids don't get that today.
No screens. They don't ask for them. They don't have time for breakfast, so they have breakfast now. They just want to go out and play, and it's hard to get them to go to bed.
I can imagine. I imagine kids who come here too are like, dang, I want to do that, Mom.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, by the way, I'm Davion.
Yeah, Karen.
How do you say it?
Karen.
Karen?
That's the
Karen?
American.
Wait, no, how do I say it in Norse?
Karen.
Karan. Karan.
Karen.
Karen. Kach.
And.
And.
Karen.
And. Okay. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have some reindeer stew, some bread. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I don't know what these are yet, or these, but let's dig in. It's good. All right, let's try this reindeer stew now. There's onions and carrots in here. It's hot. This gets a solid 9. This reindeer stew, fire. Here at this Viking village, you can actually come to the Viking cafe and sit down and eat with your family and just enjoy this beautiful valley. And when I tell y'all this place is gorgeous, it really feels like you're just sitting in a movie. Like, I can see now why back in the day they had all these gods, and honestly why they worshipped in nature. It just makes so much sense when you live in a place like this that's just this beautiful. So when you're here at this village, you can actually check out different stalls. So now we're gonna check out the craftsman stall and see what do they have to offer here. So what kind of stuff do you guys sell in here, sir?
When it comes to speaking English, maybe I will help a little bit. We
Well-
are from Poland.
Poland.
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, we travel Scandinavia mostly, and Poland and Europe, to different Viking villages and markets, and we are making some wooden stuff.
And what was your name?
I'm Victoria.
Victoria?
Yeah.
And then your name, sir?
Piotr. Peter.
Piotr.
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 Piotr. Peter.
Davion. Nice
Okay.
meeting you, sir.
Nice meeting
Davion.
Dorota.
Say it again?
Dorota.
Darata. Nice meeting you guys. When I tell you this village is so alive, there's people dancing, they're playing music, and then just look at the view up there. And this is all happening in Norway. Like, you have to love it here. It's just everywhere you look, it's gorgeous. Bring your kids here, your whole entire family, and they will have a great time here. So what are you making right now?
I am making a stew, traditional Norwegian dare stew. It's gonna be.
Oh, it already smells good.
It's very good meat. It's happy meat. They were killed happy, not farm animals. And the wild dairy is very important to here, our culture here.
Oh man. Wow, after waiting so long, getting the chance to taste this deer, it smells so good. It's super juicy. It's not even just for the camera. It's really good. When I tell y'all they do everything in this Viking village, I truly mean it. Right now, she is cooking a deer stew. She's got the carrots in there. She's got the onions in there. She even has some garlic, sprinkling in some salt. When I tell y'all she is literally whipping it up out here in Norway, she is really whipping it up. Maybe we need to go back to the ancient ways? I don't know, but truly just beautiful with the fire and the pot. So this is the last part of the village that I'm gonna show y'all, and this is a blacksmith's, what would you call this?
Blacksmith shop.
A blacksmith shop. Everything in here is actually made the way that the Vikings used to back then. That is honestly crazy.
Char cloth, like this. And fire steel. There's a spark that landed on the char cloth. It's very, very hot, so now I just put it inside the wood shavings, and then I wait a little bit. Blow a little bit on it, but then I cradle it a little bit, like just do this a bit, so it's very, very gentle wind on it. And then when I see it starting to smoke just a tiny bit, like it does now, then I know it's ready to be blown on. There we go. That's the old way of making fire.
Oh, well, it looks like magic.
So it was quite expensive actually, this stuff in the Viking Age, because this requires steel to work. It doesn't really require it, but it's the best you get the best spark with steel. So, and steel like this could take like a month to make, just this tiny bit of steel. Maybe two even, if you're unlucky with the yield. Best to tuck it in here again, because it's gonna be catch fire easily.
How long have you been a blacksmith for?
I worked as a blacksmith for 5 years, and then I was an apprentice for 2 years before that. I like blacksmithing a lot because it's you can make like small finicky things like these chainmails, for example, like tiny pieces of steel, all the way up to like huge gates made of iron and bridges made of iron. You have to be very patient to when you're forging. You have to wait until it's until the workpiece is ready. But when it's ready, you have to be really quick. So it's really, you have to have a lot of patience and the ability to act quickly. So I like the contrasts in it, in a way.
It's beautiful.
It's primitive and sophisticated at the same time.
I still can't believe they figured this out. Like anyone did.
Me too. Yeah. It's crazy. I imagine, like, let's say in the Bronze Age, for example, that they found some tin or something on the ground, and then they wanted to sacrifice it to the gods or something. Put it on the fire, maybe it melted, or just randomly put it on the fire. Then they saw that where it landed, it shaped itself to the where it landed. And then maybe they thought, okay, and then maybe they found copper at some point. And then they melted it a bit more, because all you need to do is you need to understand that when you blow on the fire, it gets hotter.
Yeah.
So bellows, pot bellows, for example, with just a ring of clay, for example. It will work very well. So maybe they melted that, and then the Bronze Age started.
I didn't think about that, but it sounds highly plausible.
Yeah, yeah.
Highly likely.
I've never heard this theory anywhere else. I just cooked it up in my head.
I mean, that's how a lot of things get invented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the contrast and stuff.
Yes, and then about making stuff the old way and everything.
Yeah.
No one does that anymore.
I like to keep the tradition alive because there's a lot of things that we're gonna get. It's gonna get lost in history, I think, if we don't preserve it in a way. So I'm trying to learn, especially from older blacksmiths. They have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. So I'm gonna keep that and pass it on to people. So I do have classes and stuff as well. So
Well, let's let this be like a promise. I'm going to try to come back here and try to learn something from the master and actually become an apprentice, hopefully one day.
that would be awesome.
Kind of sharpish.
Yeah, not here.
I can stab you with the bottom.
What's the problem with the sword?
It's not as sharp as I want it to be, but it's also way too heavy. You can feel the weight of it to get an idea about what I'm talking about. This is a reproduction of probably the heaviest sword that was in the Viking Age. I have a lighter one, but I don't want to sharpen that before I know how to do it. So,
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Definitely a beautiful sword.
yeah, no, it's an interesting one because it's one of the biggest ones I've ever found.
Was it a little bit sharper?
It's sharper, but it's still not. It's not really something you can shave with yet.
For
It's to make sure it's wet, because if it isn't wet, it's too rough. So it just makes scratches instead of actually sharpening it.
when I tell y'all, I have not been this happy in so long. Like, this smile is so genuine. They have everything in this Viking village. Just from the throwing an axe, learning how to use a bow and arrow. And I feel like in life, we have gotten away from the old things, the art of all the things they used to do back during the olden days. Like cooking with fire, an actual fire and a pot above the fire. Being a blacksmith and actually casting that iron, molding all that iron and everything in the shop. And you know, these things are gonna get lost if we don't have people that are living in a Viking village, living as Vikings did 1,000 years ago. I didn't know what to expect when coming to this village, but highly worth it. If you're coming to Norway, hop on that boat and come to Gudvangen. I probably slandered that, but come to this village. It's highly worth it. I don't know where I'm headed to next, but I know it's somewhere here in Europe. If you want to follow me to 196 countries, hit that subscribe button.